In my experience, students who follow structured feedback improve by up to 2 full bands in speaking. By the end of this video, you'll understand the specific techniques and language patterns that separate Band 9 candidates from everyone else. I've guided thousands of students to Band 7 and above, so I know the exact steps needed to reach Band 9. Let's get started. Part 1. Introduction and Interview. Good morning. My name is Peter Matty. Can you tell me your full name, please?
Good morning. My name is Stella Homewood. You can call me Stella.
Do you like going to the beach?
Yes, absolutely. I find the beach incredibly relaxing. The sound of the waves and the open horizon give me a sense of calm that I don't often get in the city. It almost feels therapeutic to spend time there.
How often do you visit the beach?
Not as often as I'd like, to be honest. I live in a busy inland city, so the nearest beach is a couple of hours away. Still, I try to make a trip at least once or twice a year, especially during summer when the weather makes it ideal.
What do you usually do when you are at the beach?
It depends on my mood. Sometimes I go for long walks along the shoreline, especially at sunrise or sunset. Other times I enjoy swimming or simply sitting with a book. I'm not a fan of crowded activities, so I tend to keep it peaceful.
Do you prefer relaxing or being active when you visit a beach?
I definitely lean towards relaxing. For me, the beach is more of a retreat than a playground. Of course, I don't mind some light activities like volleyball or snorkeling, but my priority is usually to unwind.
Do you often stay up late at night?
I try to keep a regular routine because I know how crucial sleep is. That said, there are exceptions. If I'm working on a project or spending time with friends, I might stay up past midnight.
Why do you stay up late or why not?
When I do, it's usually for something that feels meaningful, like finishing a presentation, preparing for an exam, or having a deep conversation with a close friend. I don't like the idea of staying up late just for the sake of scrolling through social media.
What do you usually do when you stay up late?
Mostly productive things, I'd say. I've done late night study sessions, or sometimes I take the time to reflect and write in my journal. On rare occasions, I watch a movie, but I try to avoid activities that disrupt my focus the next day.
How does staying up late affect your next day?
If I'm honest, it usually slows me down. I feel less sharp and I'm more likely to procrastinate. That's why I try to avoid it unless it's unavoidable. I've noticed that even a single late night can affect my energy levels for several days.
Part 2. Cue card. Now, I'm going to give you a topic and I'd like you to talk about it for 1 to 2 minutes. You have 1 minute to prepare. Take notes if you like. Describe a goal you have achieved. You should say what the goal was, how you worked towards achieving it, when you achieved it, and explain how you felt after reaching this goal. 1 minute for preparation is over. Please begin when you are ready.
One goal that I'm particularly proud of achieving was completing my first half marathon. I had always been interested in long-distance running, but until a few years ago, I never considered myself athletic. Running more than 5 kilometers seemed unimaginable. To prepare, I followed a structured training plan that gradually increased my endurance over 3 months. I woke up early almost every day to train, which was tough because I'm not naturally a morning person. I also paid attention to my diet and rest, which I'd never done seriously before. It was challenging, especially balancing it with my university workload, but I managed to stay consistent. The event itself took place in my city on a crisp autumn morning. I still remember the energy of the crowd and the encouragement from strangers along the route. Crossing the finish line after 21 kilometers was surreal. I felt exhausted but exhilarated at the same time. Achieving that goal made me realize the value of discipline and perseverance. It wasn't just about fitness, it gave me a lot of confidence in my ability to stick to something long term. In fact, the experience has influenced how I approach other areas of my life, from academics to career goals. I'd say it was a turning point in shaping my mindset.
Part 3. Discussion. Abstract questions. What does success mean to people?
I think success is highly subjective. For some, it's about wealth or status, while for others, it's about personal fulfillment or relationships. Increasingly, I feel people are moving away from traditional definitions like job titles and focusing more on balance and well-being.
Are people who were disciplined as children more likely to be successful than others?
To some extent, yes. Discipline instills habits like consistency and resilience, which are vital for achieving long term goals. However, I don't think discipline alone guarantees success. Creativity, adaptability, and emotional intelligence play equally important roles.
What are some common ways to measure a person's success?
Traditionally, people measure it through career achievements, income, or educational background. But nowadays, alternative measures like happiness, health, or even how much impact a person makes on their community are gaining more recognition.
Do you think success is more about personal happiness or financial stability?
For me, personal happiness outweighs financial stability, although the two are often interconnected. Money can provide security, but without a sense of purpose or joy, financial success feels hollow. So, I think balance is essential.
How do cultural values influence the definition of success?
Cultural values play a huge role. In some societies, success might be equated with academic achievement, while in others, it could be about entrepreneurship or family legacy. These cultural lenses shape not only how success is defined, but also how it is celebrated.
Can failure be an important part of achieving success?
Absolutely. Failure can be one of the best teachers. It forces people to reflect, adapt, and develop resilience. In fact, many successful individuals, from entrepreneurs to athletes, credit their failures as pivotal moments in their journeys. Without setbacks, growth is often limited.
Thank you, Stella. That is the end of the IELTS speaking test.
Thank you, sir. Bye.
Carefully listen to the feedback and analysis of responses. Part 1. Analysis. This is what I call the foundation. Listen to this response about beaches. Yes, absolutely. I find the beach incredibly relaxing. The sound of the waves and the open horizon give me a sense of calm that I don't often get in the city. It almost feels therapeutic to spend time there. Notice several Band 9 characteristics immediately. The candidate begins with enthusiastic agreement using absolutely. This shows confidence and natural conversational flow. The phrase incredibly relaxing demonstrates precise vocabulary choice, where incredibly intensifies the adjective perfectly. But here's where it gets sophisticated. The candidate uses sensory language, the sound of the waves and the open horizon. This creates vivid imagery while showing advanced lexical resource. The metaphorical expression, "give me a sense of calm," reveals natural idiomatic usage that many candidates struggle with. The sentence structure flows beautifully from simple to complex. We start with, "Yes, absolutely," short and direct. Then we build to, "The sound of the waves and the open horizon give me a sense of calm that I don't often get in the city." A complex sentence with a relative clause that feels completely natural. Finally, it almost feels therapeutic, uses hedging language, almost, that shows nuanced expression. Band 9 candidates don't just state facts. They express degrees of certainty and personal reflection. Part 2. Analysis. The Part 2, response about achieving a half-marathon goal, is a masterpiece of organization and language. Let's break down the opening. One goal that I'm particularly proud of achieving was completing my first half-marathon. I had always been interested in long-distance running, but until a few years ago, I never considered myself athletic. The candidate immediately addresses the prompt with, "One goal that I'm particularly proud of achieving." This shows they're directly answering while using sophisticated language. The phrase, "particularly proud," demonstrates precise emotional vocabulary rather than just saying, "I'm happy about." Notice the narrative technique. I'd always been interested in long-distance running, but until a few years ago, I never considered myself athletic. This creates context and personal backstory. The contrast between interest and self-perception, interested, but never considered myself athletic, shows complex thinking and natural storytelling ability. The preparation section demonstrates sequential organization. To prepare, I followed a structured training plan that gradually increased my endurance over 3 months. The candidate uses time markers and logical progression. Words like structured, gradually, and endurance show topic-specific vocabulary used naturally, not forced. Here's a crucial insight. I woke up early almost every day to train, which was tough because I'm not naturally a morning person. This reveals personal struggle and authenticity. Band 9 candidates don't just list achievements, they share genuine challenges and growth. Part 3. Analysis. Part 3 is where Band 9 candidates truly shine, handling abstract concepts with sophistication. Look at this response about success. I think success is highly subjective. For some, it's about wealth or status, while for others, it's about personal fulfillment or relationships. Increasingly, I feel people are moving away from traditional definitions like job titles and focusing more on balance and well-being. The opening, I think success is highly subjective, immediately shows the candidate can handle abstract concepts. Highly subjective is precise academic vocabulary used naturally, not awkwardly inserted. The structure, for some, while for others, demonstrates comparison and contrast, advanced organizational skills. But notice how the candidate doesn't stop there. They add their own observation. Increasingly, I feel people are moving away from traditional definitions. This shows several Band 9 qualities: personal opinion expressed confidently, awareness of social trends, and the ability to discuss changes over time. The phrase, moving away from traditional definitions, shows sophisticated conceptual thinking. When discussing discipline and success, the candidate says, discipline instills habits like consistency and resilience, which are vital for achieving long-term goals. However, I don't think discipline alone guarantees success. Creativity, adaptability, and emotional intelligence play equally important roles. This response demonstrates multiple advanced features, including cause and effect reasoning. Discipline instills habits, advanced vocabulary, resilience, vital, adaptability, qualification of statements. However, I don't think alone guarantees, and balanced argumentation that considers multiple factors. What can you learn from this Band 9 performance? First, authenticity matters more than perfection. This candidate shares genuine experiences, struggles, and personal views, rather than trying to sound impressive with big words or fake stories. Second, organization happens naturally when you think clearly. Notice how each response has a logical flow: context, development, personal reflection, broader implications. This isn't memorized structure, it's clear thinking expressed clearly. Third, vocabulary precision trumps vocabulary complexity. Choose the exact right word rather than the biggest word you know. Therapeutic works better than beneficial because it's more precise and vivid. Fourth, grammar serves meaning, not the other way around. Every complex structure this candidate uses serves a purpose, showing contrast, adding detail, expressing uncertainty, creating emphasis. Finally, confidence and natural delivery matter enormously. This candidate sounds comfortable discussing any topic, from personal experiences to abstract concepts. This confidence comes from genuine language proficiency, not memorized phrases. Subscribe to the channel so you do not miss 2 videos I publish weekly. All the best in your preparation.